We have moved ahead in our coverage to lap 64, and there is trouble for our leader.
Yeah, Greg Pursley, during this caution flag, felt like he had a flat right front tire, and he was able to come to pit road here, obviously leaving the lead now to Dylan Kwasniewski.
Still early, but Greg Pursley's got a long way to go to make his way up through this field. Back under green here at the Evergreen Speedway.
What a huge break, though, for Greg Pursley, that he caught that flat tire while he was under caution, so he's still on the lead lap. That's what's key.
Well, again, it's a 20-car field here, and Pursley's going to have to make his way up through it. There you see Moses Smith in the 16 on the inside trying to make a move.
Jeff Berkshire got hung up on the outside. Michael Self was able to get by. Now Moses Smith is trying to make the move on the inside.
You know, Pursley's having such a great career and so strong, we don't talk a lot about the 16 car. Second in points, not having a bad year.
Yeah, Moses Smith is having his best year on the circuit right now. And how about, look right behind the 6 of Luis Martinez, the 61 of Brett Thompson. That's Greg Pursley already up to about 9th.
You talk about a car on rails. Greg Pursley, who had to restart at the back of the field, already made his way back into the top 10. That's amazing.
Certainly is. And he didn't put a new tire on there. He put his emergency tire on there. He's saving his new tires for the halftime break. So great call by Jerry Pitts not to use up that new right front tire that he has to put on at the halftime break.
That's Brett Thompson in the 61 right ahead of him. He has already passed Luis Martinez in the 6 car. Berkshire in the 46. And it's not far to the front for Pursley.
Just turns underneath Brett Thompson there in the center of the corner. Not quite able to make the move then, but he still has to save his equipment here. He knows that he's going to be able to put tires on at the halftime break, but you don't want to use your brakes up here in this early in the race.
And Dylan Kwasniewski, I think, is really, really strong here on this track tonight.
Well, he certainly is. He was able to match speed with Greg Pursley for the first 60 laps until Greg had his flat tire, and now he's out front.
And Frazier, the local driver, also running near the front. Brett Thompson in the 61, a veteran driver, has been around this series for a long, long time. Has one win in his career.
Here's our battle for second right there. Local driver Jason Frazier in the 91. Eric Holmes, the Napa Toyota number 20 for Bill McAnally.
I think Frazier might be a factor here tonight.
And without a doubt, we know that he knows how to get around this racetrack.
You know, this is a really historic racetrack, Phil. I remember back in the early days of the Truck Series, they raced here and had some great events at this racetrack, and they've had some 500-lap races here.
Yeah, they certainly have. I mean, Bill Elliott came and ran this racetrack a lot, run those 500-lap races. I think, as a matter of fact, he has 4 poles here at this racetrack, as well as a win.
And Bill Elliott said he loved coming out here, and this folks in the Pacific Northwest don't get to see a whole lot of a touring series in NASCAR, so this is a good opportunity for him. Glad the series has come back here.
Yeah, great job by the new promoters, Doug and Tracy Hobbs. They really have spruced up the place. They're trying to restore it to its former glory, and they're doing a terrific job.
This is really kind of a park. They've got an agricultural center right next door, and a lot of things going on here at the racetrack, which is about 30-40 miles north of Seattle.
Moses Smith took a look to the inside of the 21 of Michael Self, not able to make the move right then. Well, how about the lead Kwasniewski has right now?
Pretty strong. Phil, you mentioned saving the tires, how important it was here. It looks to me like a lot of these drivers, a lot of these cars, these guys trying to save those tires right now.
I think so, and I think it's really smart. And you see Jeff Berkshire right now, I think, as Brett Thompson tries to work his way underneath them, and Brett actually has got there. Brett's side by side now with Berkshire.
Brett Thompson, you know, an interesting thing about Brett, he was the first guy in this series to run a composite car. They're allowed to run composite bodies, they're steel bodies. Talk, Phil, a little bit about the difference between them.
I think the huge difference for the composite bodies, and by the way, both Pursley and Kwasniewski both have composite bodies, is they're able to run 50 pounds lighter than the steel body cars. And I think that's why a lot of the guys are able to make that change because of that 50-pound weight break. As a matter of fact, I was talking to Greg Pursley. You know, we saw him have a flat tire here at about the 60-lap mark. He had a flat tire in practice and actually hit the wall. And he said if he would have had a steel-bodied car, he would have taken hours to make the repairs. He said that composite body just bounced right back. They were able to fix the suspension, and he hardly lost any time.
Yeah, I hear from everybody those composite parts, the cars are easier to fix. You just pop something off and put another thing back on it.
Yeah, the metal bodies are very, very difficult and challenging to build as well as to fix.
Right now, Frazier, who is again a local driver in that orange car, is really showing us something, as Eric Holmes now has moved in right behind him. We'll see if Eric Holmes can pass. Looks like he wants to. Holmes down on the inside. He's caught up with the bumper. Can Eric Holmes make the move? Yes, he can.
That was a great move by Eric Holmes. He diamonded the corner a little bit. He slid up in the center of the corner down in 1 and 2, and then got a straighter shot off and was able to get underneath Frazier to take over that second spot. Nice veteran move by Eric Holmes.
Here's where the local driver and the veterans might see, okay, guy, move over. Let us show you what we're doing here. Michael Self right behind him. Then it's Moses Smith. Those guys are regular here on the tour.
Right now, Kwasniewski pretty much is in his own zip code.
Phil, watch as they come by. You'll see the entrance right there to another track here. There really is another track here on the inside.
Yeah, it's a little short, probably about a 3/8 of a mile track here. And I know the West Series in the past has run that track. You see it right inside the bigger oval that we're running right now. I like the big track, though.
I do. I really like the big track and like what they're doing here tonight. That's the battle for 8th place, and it involves Greg Pursley, who has made his way up through the field. I do think he's being careful right now because he's been in that group with Berkshire and Martinez for a long time now.
He sure has. There we catch a glimpse of the 07 car. That's another local driver, Naaman Lang. He's a 2-time track champion right behind Greg Pursley now, driving one of Greg Rail's car, giving that car a good ride.
Well, he really is. And look at Pursley on the outside. He's going to get by Martinez. Can he get by Berkshire in that 46?
I'll tell you, that's pretty strong to be able to make the move on the outside like Pursley is. We're inside of 20 laps to go to the halftime break, and I think it may be Greg Pursley saying, okay, it's time for me to gain a couple spots here.
Well, he's getting another spot as he gets by Berkshire. I think it would be amazing if Pursley could get in the top 5 by that halftime break. I think he'd be in pretty good shape.
He just wants to stay within striking distance right now. He knows his teammate's car is really, really good because they ran together for the first 60 laps until Pursley had his flat tire.
Greg Pursley knows that young kid is going to be tough to handle here for a while.
Yeah, he told me he's getting better and better and better. He's given us all we can stand right now.
Well, it's Dylan Kwasniewski, the 16-year-old, out in front as we approach the halfway point of this race.